So from the very beginning, we knew that we were not going to do this by power, not by might.
And that's because we tried by power and by might,
And it did
and
not
it did not
work.
work.
So, like we mentioned before, we had prayed, and we had praised, and while in this process, but before and during all of this, we knew that we needed God's blessings, and we had certain things that we did to prepare our hearts, plus the praise, plus the worship, plus everything, just to add it all. Nothing was wasted, basically. What I did was I searched the scriptures to see those that were talking about fertility. One shall be barren in the land, your womb is blessed, your house shall be full. All those scriptures, I searched them, I wrote them down, and I prayed them every day. In the midst of all of that, God gave me a word. It was in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 3 and 4. And basically the point of it was that God will comfort you, so that not just for you to be comforted and say, oh yeah, thank you Jesus, so that you can be able to comfort others. And so I held on to that one. I like, Lord, I know you don't just do things by mistake, and so that was the word that God gave me. I know God had already given you a word.
Yeah. Even before we got married, actually, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. And trust me, it wasn't around the Christmas time, so it was far from it. And I'm like, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. Okay, I hear you, God. So we're going to get a son, and I held on to that, really.
I didn't even care whether it was a son. At the beginning, I just, we will have children, Abby. Alright, subsequently, there were other things that pointed us to the fact that God was with us through this step.
Right.
My dad actually called, and he was like, he said September, like, you'd get pregnant. And this man did not even have a clue of what we were doing. He didn't have a clue, and I'm like, okay God, I see you. He didn't have a clue of what we were doing at the time, and he said that, so I held on to it. And that thing was, I think our pastor, he was preaching.
Yeah, he was preaching about faith at that point in time.
Yes.
And he basically made mention certain things that pointed out to
exactly.
the fact that,
And throughout that period, he preached for faith for a long
it was like a series,
time.
actually.
It was a series.
Yeah.
He preached for, and do you know what? Every step of the way, every step that we needed to take, we needed to do this test, we needed to do this procedure, it was like the faith sermon for that Sunday would guide us for that day. And so that's what we would do.
So we just transferred our funds. I don't know if you can hear me. Transferred our funds to the bank. Hopefully by Friday, today is Tuesday, by Friday we will go to the clinic and do all the necessary deeds to kickstart this process. So stay tuned. So we just finished talking to the doctor. He's about to bring in our medication, and baby, you not said anything in this vlog today.
Hi everyone, I'm just exhausted from the traffic. It's crazy. Well, so good. I'm optimistic.
Are you ready to start giving me the shots?
Yeah, why not?
I'm not looking forward to it.
It's going to be fine. You can handle pain. You have a very high pain threshold.
I actually don't.
You do?
I actually don't. Like, I hate needles.
Or you give people needles.
So here I have the how to take the injections, the FSH injection, which is one of the injections I'm going to take, and then I have the
the drugs. So that's FSH, cetrotide, HCG, cyclogest, and doxycycline. So these are like time to, if you see, this is supposed to be the start, but it's supposed to be 24th, but it's supposed to be the start. So you take one each day, one injection each day, and the cetrotide will come later on, like a week into it. And then I have a day 7 appointment on the 29th, and that's a scan, and another one on day 9. Yes, I was going to show you the injections. So the FSH basically is what you're going to take to stimulate stimulate the egg growth, and that's this. I hope that's not fully true. So it's basically FSH hormone. Basically the FSH hormone. So I'm going to be taking that one every day at a particular time, and then this is the cetrotide. This is subcut. Okay, so this is IM, so I have to take it on my thigh or my butt, and then this one is that one is subcut, so I have to take it. Hey guys, so let me just come here and rant a little bit. It's been today is day 9 of injections, and I'm tired. The injections, they don't necessarily hurt. It's just the water. I have to take 4 liters of water every day. So here I am every day, every hour, every 5 minutes, sipping a huge bottle of water and going to the toilet to literally just dump it in, and doing that over and over again till I go to bed. 4 liters of water. If you don't know what that is, go and measure it. Okay, so just in case you don't know, the water is to prevent like water retention in your body. So the more you drink, the more you go to the toilet and urinate, so there'll be less tendency for you to retain fluid, because of the stimulations and all of that. So that's why I'm taking lots of water. So we have come to the end of the stimulations. Yeah. So how did you feel giving me those needles?
Well, it felt normal because
Normal. Wow. I feel like it was pretty good experience. The intramuscular didn't really hurt, except some days like today that somebody decided to just stab me.
it wasn't intentional.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Get over it quickly,
Are you sure it was not intentional?
It wasn't. No hard feelings, okay?
Anyway, so we start the stimulation. The trigger.
We'll get tomorrow.
HCG. We started tomorrow. Basically, just one shot. we'll take that tomorrow 11 p.m. and Monday is our egg retrieval. Somebody give a lot of shout. Yeah, so it's been really exciting. I'm grateful that the needles have stopped. In total, I think we did 12 days.
Yeah, I think you've done really, not I think, I know.
Oh, stop
That
it.
you've done really well.
Stop it, I like
I
it.
don't think I don't think I would put my butt down for you to put so many needles into it like that. But,
Yeah.
you did well.
Thank you.
How do you feel? Where? Any pain? Where? Sorry. We're halfway done.
Halfway. More than halfway.
So after the egg retrieval, what happened? A few days after,
You felt ill,
yes,
and I'm like, oh my god. The IV is supposed to be
1
few-
week after, I think it was
Yeah,
7
some
days.
few-
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, you cannot fall ill right now.
I was even really scared. I was thinking that it was the ovarian hyperstimulation,
right?
but thankfully it was not too severe, and we didn't even know whether we were going to go ahead with it.
Yeah, because she was ill, and once you're ill like that, it's not really advisable
Yes.
to continue with the IVF.
So here we are thinking whether we are going to go ahead with it. If you don't go ahead with it, you have to freeze your embryos,
Yeah.
and that's another money and all of that, and time for you to recover for
Yeah. It's all lot.
yeah. So and then we eventually did the IVF.
At the IVF, we're told that we have to make a decision on whether we would
What we'll do with the
remain embryos, basically. So what they do is they advise you to freeze the egg
just in case.
just in case the first IVF does not work. So you don't have to go
Through the
through
whole stimulation,
process,
yeah.
injections and all
They
that,
just
you know.
thaw the
Yeah.
frozen.
So you just bring out the
embryo.
frozen one and
Yes.
just put it inside the uterus. But because there's a reason. Because we had received word from God
Yeah.
at different times, we told the doctor that, you know what, we believe this is gonna work.
We decided ourselves before even going for the IVF that it's just going to be once and we are done.
Yeah.
And so we told ourselves, oh yeah, that's it, just once. We went to the theater, went for that IVF, and that day the doctor, before going to the theater, the doctor said, what's your decision? Let us sign the paper. And we said,
No, we're not freezing the egg.
we're not freezing the egg. Whatever you're putting in, that's what we're taking home. And the doctor was looking at us like, this is going insane. This is going insane.
Like I think it was sort of surprised and I don't know, let's say not
Like
disappointed.
he was, yeah, I think it's disappointing
Yeah,
because it was
disappointed because it was
like,
like,
you
this
should
will
know
not-
better.
Exactly, you're
You are
doctors, so-
doctors. You should know that you should freeze this
like,
thing.
there's no certainty in medicine, you know. So, but because we received word from God, God has
Yeah.
assured us.
3 times.
Yeah.
He asked us, and to be honest with you, okay, that was before the procedure. Just immediately after the procedure, after like in the recovery room,
Yeah.
he came again and was like, what is your decision? We're like, we are not.
It was like,
Freezing
if
the
it's the
egg.
money that we can pay in the installment, I'm like, we're like,
It's not
it's not
in
actually
there.
the money.
It's
The
not
money
the
is
money.
available for that, but we didn't want to. We wanted to put our
Complete.
I want to put trust in God. Really,
That was
God, you
beautiful.
said it, we believe. There's no plan B. Really.
Do you know that day in the recovery room, I felt it like I could bet my last dollar. I bet my last dollar on it that it was like I could sense the angels of the Lord standing like, how do I describe it? Soldiers waiting at attention to get the command of the what do you call them, the captain or somebody in charge, like give the word and let us go and act. And it was like they were at attention, and immediately they were waiting for us to say, okay, we are not freezing the embryos anymore. And that was how I felt. Immediately we said we are not freezing, and we signed that paper. I felt like they just blew a whistle and they started moving, and they like action and all of that.
And once you don't freeze the egg becomes useless.
They throw it away. They just throw it away. They discard it basically. Yeah. So you sign off.
Like you won't discard the embryos really. So
look at what the enemy did. We now entered the car.
And we are on our way back home.
And we're on our way back home.
And we're like,
what did we just do? Like in my mind, I'm like, did I just throw away my children? Like what if? And I'm like, the Holy Spirit just whispered to me like, are you going to let the enemy steal this? And like, no, like what's going on? And we just picked up ourselves and started playing music. We started rejoicing that it's done. God's going to bless this that has happened, this process that has begun. He's going to work it out. And so now the waiting game begins.